All right, so when you're getting ready to start putting the clutch in here, since we had the spring out, nothing's going to be aligned here. So when you go back together with, before you start going back together, it's a good idea to just stick the pressure plate on there before you compress the spring back down, just to make sure that the spring is aligned with the tangs here on the clutch hub. And we'll go ahead and need to stick this on there first. Kind of sort of line it up. Slide our compressor on here. Drains and washers. And we're not going to compress it all the way, we're just getting it started so we know where the spring is at. All right, so we should have it compressed down far enough now. What you're looking for is make sure that this snap ring seat is sitting down in here far enough that you can actually get the snap ring in past the tangs here. And that's about it. It's sitting in there. So I'm going to go ahead and slap the clutch in here in a minute. We're going to make a mess here. So it's best I'm doing it on the bench here just because it's easier for me to do on the bench than it is on the bike. But you can do it either way, on the bike or on the bench. So we're going to start off with a friction plate to begin with. And then a steel plate. And then a friction plate. And a steel plate. Now, these steel plates have a sharp edge and a rounded edge. You want to make sure that they're all going in the same way. There's supposed to be a way that they go in and out depending on which way the clutch releases, but I've done it both ways for 35 years and never noticed the difference whichever way they go in at all. So friction plate, steel plate, friction plate, steel plate. You're going to end up on the very end with a friction plate. What this extra plate kit does, if you remember, our steel plate that had the two plates riveted together came apart. We're doing away with that double steel plate there. That's the spring damper plate. So again, it's just friction plate, steel plate, friction plate, steel plate. And remember, soak your friction plates for at least 10 minutes. Some of them say that they're pre-soaked. I think Dunlop pads or Dunlop pads, however you say it, they come pre-soaked, supposedly. And they probably are, but I never trust that, so I always soak them anyway. And whatever fluid I'm using in the transmission or primary. That's it. Stick our pressure plate back on there. We're going to pop our snap ring back in here. Then you're going to have to take the center section back out of here to be able to put the clutch hub nut in there. And replace that snap ring. Fish our snap ring back in here. This is the snap ring that actually holds the pressure plate. Diaphragm spring in there. And see if we got this thing down far enough to actually get it in there. I don't think that's far enough down. far enough now. That's what I mean about you try and compress it too much and you'll break the fingers off of the clutch hub. Then you're kind of screwed. But evidently we're not quite down far enough, so yeah, it feels close right there. That's why I mean it's a lot easier doing it on the bench than it is on the bike. You got better light and you can get down on it and see exactly what's going on. Either way, you can do it on the bike or on the bench. You got the clutch all the way out. Okay, that should be in there all the way. Now, what I like to do is once I think I got it in there, I like to take a rubber mallet and a punch or a screwdriver and just give it a little smack all the way around it just to make sure that it's seated good. I don't know if you can see it here. Look over here. Your snap ring should be just on past the edge of the snap ring seat that sits down on the spring all the way around. And I've already smacked this a couple of times to make sure it's in place, but that's what you're looking for when it's seated all the way. So let me take a drink of coffee here and wipe my hands off. I got gear oil all over them. Or transmission fluid, whatever you want to call it. Now, too, I'll show you when you put it in there, you'll put the bike in gear without it running just to dry test it. Put it in gear and pull the clutch in and see if you can spin the rear wheel without the engine moving. It'll be tight, but you should still be able to move the rear wheel. Just make sure the clutch isn't dragging too bad, or if you got something wrong in there. Do that even before you put fluid in it, just to double check it. And this snap ring that holds the clutch spring in, that can be pretty tough to get started in there. Once you get it started in, you just kind of walk it around. I wasn't showing that whole thing because it took me a while to get it in there because new clutch is going to be sticking up more. You actually have more pressure on it. That's pretty much it. We'll have to pull this snap ring back out of here, be able to get the clutch hub nut and the little washer that goes with it. I'll show you that once I get ready to stick the clutch in. But that's it for the clutch assembly, really. Take your time. You've never done it before. You'll need a compressor, clutch spring compressor, to be able to get the assembly off there. And for the big twins, like 90 through 97 big twins, you'll need this too. And then the 98 and later big twins, they went to the screws, hold the spring down with a little outside ring plate. So a lot easier design. But for the Sportsters, 91 through 03 at least, and 90 through 97 big twins, it uses something similar to this. So kind of a pain in the butt. Later stuff's a lot easier to do, but that's for this model here. And I think I'm going to go eat some lunch now. I made chili yesterday, and probably edit this video and edit some more. Anyway, you guys have a fantastic weekend and a fantastic week coming up. Take care. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for sharing. Everything else. Appreciate it. Really, I do greatly. Take care.